Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Silence and the Fury, where today our mighty fleet sails forth. And you know, I was sort of asking myself, wait a second, how did we manage to get enough discipline to build a boat? I should not have worried. Obviously, we have no boats. What we have are, as far as I can tell, murder narwhals. Like, the metalist narwhals you've ever seen, and we sort of like laid a simple raft across their back, and that is how this works. If you think about the number of minotaurs that are currently riding on this thing, it must be very mighty indeed. So let's go have a look at the Galleon's graveyard. I think we might have to feast on the Galleon's graveyard just in order to maintain momentum, which we cannot do this turn. And I will suffer from corruption issues no matter how I approach this, because the Galleon's graveyard itself is fully vampirically corrupted. And just staying out here in the water doesn't help, because deep water we don't actually know how to sail. So I have 3 turns before the momentum crashes. We could ignore it. We could just let momentum reset. Once we're on Elf Island, I'm sure we'll be able to push the bar full. But yeah, let's do it. It feels out of character not to destroy the thing when we have the option of destroying the thing. So what I'm going to do is get up on these little shoals here. Is that what a shoal is? Ask me anything about near aquatic landmasses. I'm going to raid so as to not suffer attrition. And also so that I can pay my ogres. We're just going to steal loot from these pirates. Y'all get over here. Let's do this thing. Morgar's army is short a unit. Will you be able to get up here? Have I overcrowded the shore? Yeah, I have. Shoot. And nobody has any movement left at all. Yep, alright, well, oops. Galek's gonna have to just suffer for a turn. And Morgar should probably... Oh, right, I'm not actually in encampment stance. Okay. Well, the good news is we're taking a lot of money away from these pirates. Alright, and then obviously we can leave the Monument of Izatal for last if we want, but I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll just go over here and take it out now because I don't want to have to come back over here. So from the perspective of the purple guys, we have just disappeared. They know not where we have gone off to, and hopefully this will lead to them feeling safe to just venture down here and resettle the pillars, because that would be funny. Do you want to do that, or do I want to try to splat one of these agents? I guess just like whichever thing is most likely to work, right? Because all we're actually doing for Ak here is generating XP, and I guess also traits. I did forget about that. And then I guess we start taking combat stuff in case we ever do need to roll him into a fight. It could happen. It's theoretically possible. And we have a huge amount of favor and the other thing, dread. So what do I want to do? I got you a battle-scarred Ungor Raider already. You have a blind eye of seeing. I don't think you necessarily need that 10,000 gold thing. That's really more of a melee character thing. And you have one already. I think we mostly have those on the people who want them. So yeah, what else do I want to do here? We don't actually know what the Banner of Madness does. We have a Banner of Gorok. I mean, a lot of our army stuff is full. I guess actually we have a couple of people who have sort of unimpressive followers that we could just replace with a Banner of Madness. So around self, affects enemies in range, cannot target if leadership is higher than 50%. So okay, it's a thing that constantly causes damage to anyone whose leadership has gotten low, while giving the assigned unit big physical resistance and the ability to cause terror. Honestly, A couple of banners of madness for like the best melee unit, the stand and fight heavy infantry unit in any given army is probably pretty reasonable. It's a hell of a lot better than a gleaming pendant. Or frankly, a magister at this point. Do we want? Yeah, sure. Just take two banners of madness. These are great, alongside your blessings and of course your Ungor Raider, who can never be allowed to leave. What's Galek got followers-wise? Yeah, kind of a lot of stuff that's not that helpful. The Spawn Wrangler's doing nothing. All right. We're going to buy a couple more Banners of Madness. I don't want to go too deep on this. Because obviously we want to make sure we have some bank left for the ogres. But we can give you a couple of these as well. So let's drop the... This is just a missile damage reduction banner. It's fine, I guess. We'll cut one of the zealots as well. All right, that was a pretty big pool of that. So, in terms of general upgrades, I suppose there's no reason not to pursue the Great Herdstones. Let's get that next, and then we'll figure out more stuff from there. We have the ability to purchase more army capacity, but I'm not convinced that we need it. Oh, sure. I mean, it's free, so why not? That's not free, but whatever. And that's the plague one. I guess, yeah, give me vision over here too. Yep, all of our settlements are gonna want to be upgraded, and really there's no reason not to. That's the same, that's the one we were looking at just a moment ago. Okay, there we go. It's a shame we can't improve the effectiveness of our port. I don't know what it would do. You know what? I want to have vision. I want to have vision everywhere. Also disease. Vision and disease for everyone. You know, chaos. We have quite a few standing Herdstones, it turns out. This one does not have the vision building. I am not responsible for this at all. Okay. This is something that Kazrak did before we recruited him. Trash that building. I want the vision building. Also down here. You know, given that it has no cost and takes only a single turn, it probably ought to just happen automatically, right? Like if you buy that upgrade, it should just queue that up in every Herdstone that is not currently doing some other upgrade. Because there's not going to be any situation where you don't want to do it, right? You can see the number of factions that remain in the world is a lot smaller. A lot of the little ones have been whittled out. We're responsible for a pretty good portion of that. At this point, we've made essentially a quarter of the world map completely unlivable. Do we want chaos corruption or 1,000? Well, I don't want 1,000 favor, I can tell you that. What do you want? You want... we just finished Profane Blessings. We could work on his Voice of the Dark Gods. Oh, you know what? Big loss in vigor. A big reduction in vigor loss. It's probably pretty good. We could just pull in a unit of ogres to finish this off. It's probably not necessary. Yep, declare war. Somewhere they lost their army, it looks like. Hold on, I want to make sure new guy gets XP for this. Yeah, like sail around here and then make sure. Okay. And actually, do I want to back Morgur off maybe? Just reduce the amount of XP splitting. You know what? He still needs skill points too. All right, devour. Feast on zombie pirates. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of money. Do we care? Do we need it? I think this effect only applies to... Oh, you know what? We may as well just take the corruption, right? Because this is enough, it is by itself enough to do a ritual. New ogre mercenaries have arrived right here on the reef. Weird. Ooh, constant increase to power reserves. That's kind of neat. So we'll just go ahead and ritual that right away. We did it! Ruination! Hooray! Yeah, you're doing just fine. This area is still... It is still a little too vampire corrupted for us to be comfortable in it. Let's go say howdy to these ogres. Give me some more death belchers. And then, yeah, I guess we just hang out for a turn here, right? Managed to build ourselves a little bit of additional momentum. And hopefully it will be enough to get the job done. And now Rose the Brine here is the entirety of this faction, I believe, because it looks like their balance of power meter was pretty empty. So bad news for her. She's going to have to deal with us, and quickly. I'm trying to select my army. Alright, so we did get Arcane Conduit for you. What if more Cygors? Yes. What if more Cygors? Sometimes I think to myself, do we have enough? Is this enough Cygors? And then I remember that doesn't... What does that phrase even mean? That's nonsense. That sounds like gibberish to me. Right, Malagor, get in here and do the thing. So the Monument of Izatal by itself would only be worth 4, and I don't think it's in range of a Herdstone. Yeah, I guess we're just burning it. Well... If we make it a Herdstone, then we can feed the Wellsprings to it, because right now the Wellsprings are not in range of anything else either. Yeah, okay, we make a Herdstone here this turn. Malagor, lead the attack. Because you will catch up most effectively afterward. All right, we should pick a caster to give that. Here, I'm going to give it to you. That Shard of the Herdstone that we just pulled, because this seems actually like a really great item. Do we have a reasonable talisman for you? Actually, I just have an extra Champion's Essence that we should give to somebody. And a loose Talisman of Preservation. Yeah, we have so many things, and we have so many people with such powerful items. In Malagor's army, is his guy is equipped. Okay, we just have we have too many good items. I don't know what to do with all of them. I mean, it's a good problem to have. Okay, so Malagor was finishing off his mastery of his magic. Right, yet another Wargore. Okay, here we go. There's a person who could use some stuff. Minus 8% weapon damage for enemies within 40 meters. I'm probably going to give him... He just needs a little bit of melee attack at the moment, and then he can take the Gunnarsson Kron. And sure, a potion of healing. That makes sense. And then, sadly, not really a lot of... not a lot of followers of value here. Oh, right, and also a skill point, which is the whole reason we were in this menu in the first place. Well, in this army, it feels like he should probably be on a chariot, but let's finish getting Deadly Onslaught first. Alright, so we should be able to, move this army just back out. Although I do want to be a little cautious about it. It looks like, okay, we can run out of the pass this way. and maintain ourselves a hidden encampment. Why are we all so miserable? Oh, it's probably like mountain pass attrition. Okay, so we'll be very close to full next turn. Ak is going to need to take a turn off. He is exhausted from murder. I'll say this: they're putting up a little bit better of a fight than most of the factions that we've killed so far. So is there if we select one of these things? Okay, there we go. Everything that is red is an area that currently cannot be settled because of our bloodstones. So yeah, it's a sizable portion of the world map. Obviously, we could do better. The Galleon's graveyard does not give you a particularly interesting Herdstone. And nothing about the Galleon's graveyard is really going to affect anybody anywhere. Yeah, I guess I'll just build it the same way I build all the others. And that actually lets us get the last one of these. So now we got to go through this process one more time. But think of how tough all our Herdstones are going to be. Look at the garrison on that. Multiple giants, multiple units of minotaurs with great weapons. Basically unassailable. I do wish there was like a button for automating this, though. Just do this thing in all settlements would be cool. It is, to some degree, a problem unique to this faction, right? All right, give me vision. Give me disease. Okay. So we still have a lot of fights to win. I suspect we're going to get a lot of fights out of the part of this where we are trying to clear out the Dark Elves. Like, in theory, we could just save the Dark Elves for last. We could go clear out our other business, show up at Nagarond, knock it over, finish our quest objectives, and then just win the game and not have to deal with the long war. But unfortunately, that was how I was going to deal with Reichland. It's not a viable plan in two different places. We have to actually fight one of them.
Endless victories are changing the very fates themselves.
Thanks. Thanks, old guy. Why are you here? Why are you here and who are you? We are going to continue ignoring the chapter objectives because they have become irrelevant. Now that we effectively have infinite favor, we just don't have to... We don't have to care about that anymore. Charge! Oh. Overestimated myself a small amount. Really thought I was going to be able to make that distance. Well. Whatever. Just stay together. It'll be fine. That actually might have been a good assault to get off. That said, even with all of their armies together, I don't think they can really challenge us. I should have checked the movement distance, though. So, there's all these islands over here, but notice a lot of cliff. We can get out of the water right at the Shrine of Loek. Oh, great big shipwreck. I'm wondering if that's the move, or if we want to try to make landfall over here, not right next to a settlement, and then push in from there. Because, like, okay, if I make Lothern a Herdstone, actually, it will not reach the Shrine of Loek. Okay, well, we probably still don't want to burn the Shrine of Loek just yet, because I'd rather put a Herdstone up at Elisali. Yeah, okay. Alright, the time has come to re-enter the water. We are not good at being in the ocean. This has got to be a temporary state for us. See, this is my primary concern. I think that it's very important. Oh no. You're too slow. Well, yep. Galleon is going to fall behind a little bit. So we're back at 3 momentum, but we're at 3 momentum, like 2 turns worth of movement further north, which may end up not being enough to save us, honestly. All right, and that's the Dread Fleet getting eaten by elves. So we know that there is a real army waiting at Lothern. Fortunately, we have a forward scout to feed us some more intel here. Once we've cleaned up the purple lizard men... Oh, you want peace, do you? They wanted me to pay them for peace. It's a gutsy play. You got to give them that. Once we've cleaned them up, what we might do is have just one of the armies push northward to try to set up Herdstones at the places where we are currently not being given credit for having completed our objectives, even though we definitely have. You didn't move at all. You can see I'm... Friend, you can see me. I'm right here. That was not very smart, in my opinion. And then just have the other army come over and join us in Elftown. Because, there's going to be a lot of fighting to do. Does Kazrak get the ambush? He does. All right. We were going to beat him either way, but if we hadn't hit the ambush, then there was a possibility that they were going to get to retreat and we were going to have to chase them. It was going to eat up a bunch of movement. This way, we get to go straight to the Wellsprings. The Skull of Catan reduces the power recharge rate on enemies within 100 meters. That does not seem good at all. Obviously, I don't need both of the armies to get this done, but we may as well get the XP spread out. And north we continue. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit the ritual here. Bit by bit, board by board, we're going to build this House of Ruination. Alright, obviously we do love a good call of violence, and then, who in his army has hit gold ranks already? We have some Bestigors that are close, the Chariots have, the Giant has. Okay, so who gets first access? Where is the Giant? The Giant is on this skill. The Chariots are all creatures of the herd. So a big speed and missile resistance boost. Actually, this is awesome. That's a very, very good skill for those units. It's all of the skills they are, all of the stats they actually care about. More Traderkin for you. For some reason, you only got 1 level out of all that. You almost got 2. That little blue XP bar is very close. And then, Woundmaker. It's great when we make wounds in them. So maybe the plan is to just sail north and burn down the Shrine of Loic. We won't get maximum ruination out of it, but we may just have to live with that. Okay, so in addition to Lothern's 20-unit garrison, they have a 20-unit army led by Alistar the White Lion, who, as you might imagine, is a very lion-themed character, although we don't see any lions in his army yet, but they could be here. So he's got some Phoenix Guard, possibly some of the best halberd infantry in the game. Their stats don't necessarily look amazing, but you got to remember they have martial mastery and all kinds of nonsense. Expert charge defense. They cause fear, apparently. 30 raw 30% physical resistance. Okay. We got some sword masters of Hoeth. Some dragon princes. This is a very expensive army. Okay. Concerns. I have some concerns. The good news is, you gotta remember, we won't be alone here. The Dark Elves will be continuing to harass them. I think we're headed toward the shrine. It'll get us out of the deep water the fastest. Is being out of deep water good enough to let us start replenishing? It is. Okay, so we're going to hit the shore at full health. Gallic will get there a turn later, and he'll be in dubious condition. Alright, Ak is just going to run around smashing lizardmen, and then, honestly, he can just bail out at this point. We'll probably just send him east. Okay. We're going to get a whole extra 10 ruination for having waited 50 turns to do this. So I guess from this point, basically all of our dread is just going into unit cap stuff, right? We could still use more Bestigors. I don't know what else we want more of beyond that. Jabberslides are really cool. Maybe we get some more Jabberslides. Each army could have one. Replace one of Torox's Gorgons, perhaps. The Gorgons are fine. They're a little straightforward, you know. Good monster fighters, though. They don't have the flair. They don't have the raw charisma of a Jabberslide. Leadership up, corruption down. Sure, I don't care about the corruption at all, so that seems fine to me. Hooray, even more movement range. So can we make it this turn? Yes. Yes, I think we can. I think we are just barely going to maintain our rampage. I should hit a button here. You know what? A horrific onslaught has been good for us so far. We'll take that just in case, but I think we're good. So if we have Torox, just hit the Shrine of Loek. Right, he has enough movement to get on land, and then, yeah. Okay, Gallic Goreclaw manages to get out of the attrition, at least. Yeah, I'm just going to have him chomp this real quick. And we'll just take the raise in advance. There's not really a sense in raising a Herdstone here. Alright, we are not at war with the elves of Elisali. That could change. I should try not to leave myself too exposed. Let's see, we can run up to here and stay hidden. And then I think the play is maybe we meet the rest of our dudes on the beach over here. We know that elf army moved westward. Oh, I accidentally crossed over that shipwreck. I didn't even mean to do that. 1,500 favor, and okay. Found ourselves some cool weapons that we will take very bad care of, and as such they will disintegrate. So Alistair's moving north in response to all of this stuff. Yeah. They're losing control of the gates, and the sword is over there, you know. We could just take control of the big magic elf sword for ourselves. That is a thing that we have access to. Whose Wargore is this, even? I don't know. Here, we'll get a point of Deadly Blade. I feel like stuff just levels up all the time for no reason. We didn't even do anything to generate XP. At this point, I'm not going to bother with the stealthy approach. They know we're coming. If they want to come out here and fight me about it, they are welcome to do so. And Ak, you need to get in the water. Alright, not a lot of research left, huh? Melee defense and bonus versus infantry for boar-based units. Here, let's take the physical resistance first. We're going to cap out real soon, though. So Eotane is showing us about as powerful as we are. We do have to be careful. We're not going to be able to roll through Elf Town necessarily quite as easily as we have rolled through a lot of other things. I will say, I feel like we've gotten lucky a bunch. Like, as we were approaching the Maelstrom, the Galleon's graveyard, the Dreadfleet had a balance of power bar that made it look like they had more than one full army. And right as we rolled up to their gate, the turn that we were about to declare war on them, all of a sudden it was way down because someone else had incidentally killed a full stack of their troops, including their legendary lord. And I think that thing has happened to us a lot. Like, right as we're about to attack somebody, all of a sudden they get tremendously weaker. Alright, have at the garrison. Show them who's boss. It did not work. They are not afraid of minotaurs, it turns out. Alright, we're gonna creep up. We are gonna stealth creep over here. I want them to lose Lothern before they realize that that's what's about to happen. Because I would love to do this without them returning 2 full stacks to defend it. What do we want most for you now? We maxed out your melee defense. I guess armor? You already have 120 armor, though. You know what? Let's take some charge bonus. Alright, Gallic is going to lag behind a little bit, unfortunately. Alright, Spectazuma is all they have left. Can I... It's not clear to me whether I will be able to siege that this turn. There's a little bit of red on the ground? Yeah, okay. Look at all my stealth. I'm going to sit here and raid. They think they have more units than I do right now, so I'm hoping to just walk them into Malagor. You know, if you're saying to yourself, gee, SB, it seems like you use that strategy an awful lot. Yeah, it works. It's like very effective. And so we shall continue. You should probably recruit something. Hold on, we should not just have an open spot in this army here. You love Chaos Spawn. Let's just get you some Chaos Spawn. Maybe what Ak ought to do right now is just sail north to Nagarond and try to get a sense of like what state the Dark Elf homeland is in, because they have a lot of armies. The balance of power bar does not really give you an indication of like economic strength or anything, or how secure their land is. It is, I believe, just a measurement of the raw strength of their armies relative to the raw strength of your armies. So we don't know. We don't know what's going on up in the snowy elf town. It may be the case that they have not defended it well. It may be the case that we could just sail in, attack them, and then run away. I would think that this would be a good time for... Oh, none of this stuff is any good. This would be a good time for a combat strength buff. Yeah, alright. We'll just take Bestial Fury. It's fine. They were smart enough not to go for the thing. It is not going to save them. Stupid, smart lizard men. Alright, let's attack this small army. It's gathering outside the city. They would rather flee than fight. What a bunch of cowards. Oh. He's trapped inside the city zone of control. Okay, we'll have to... Okay. Now, we just move back up to the edge. So we've made this as unfair in our favor as we possibly can. And you know how I love to do that. And I mean, we have certainly won much more difficult settlement battles than this. Oh, and look at this. Their whole army is terrible. So, like, this is actually a really bad setup for defending a settlement. They don't have any heavy infantry of the type that you could put up on a wall. They have all of these red-crested skinks. But if you look at their stats, you'll see 22 melee defense on 30 armor. Like, these are fast-moving, poisonous damage troops with a very high percentage of their damage being armor-piercing. They do not have the ability to, like, stand and defend a place. The heavy infantry they do have is too big to stand on the wall, and all these dinosaurs will be useless until the walls are breached. This is just the only option they really have here is to basically fight it as though it is a field battle. They cannot take advantage of their walls at all. Let's just raise an advance for the purpose of movement speed. We get ourselves out of here. So the sentinels are destroyed. The ritual is complete. On this occasion, you have received only a sliver of the god's recognition for your ritual, as the great weird moon Morsleb hangs low and whole in the sky, its eerie incandescence a sign of their current apathy. Huh. I mean, it said we got 53 on that thing, which is more marks than we would normally have gotten. Yeah. That seems like the opposite of apathy. That's pathy right there. You can't fool me. I've seen pathy before. Right? It's usually right next to the family circus. She's all like, ack. I love pathy. All right. Let us head for the coast. Our work is done here. If we're going to have somebody run north and try to erect the Herdstones, I guess it would be Malagor? Oh, you had more than one skill point there. So that's all of the magic stuff. I guess we probably at some point ought to pick this up. Yeah, let's just take dual wielder is not that good, but Bellows of the Discordant will be nice. And then you have your chariot already. I guess this is the time for Bloodlust. Oh my god, so many skill points. Definitely want missile resistance on the chariot hero. Oh, right. You did multiple fights. You're out of movement. Okay. So we are afflicted by the Plague of the Crow. Plus 7% when in foreign territory. Plus 7 leadership. That's a pretty good plague. That crow plague is all right. Yeah, because I would definitely feel better if this and this were checked off on the list. But maybe I don't bother with it this turn. Maybe I don't bother with it right now. Maybe it's a later kind of concern. Okay, that time we actually did some damage to the garrison. It's hard to know how much. You are the best of the beast. There's no two ways about that. To be fair, your competition is the guy who critically wounded himself 4 different times, so... Yeah, I'm just saying, don't let it go to your head. Who do I want to actually engage? I guess it's got to be Torox, right? If we're trying to maintain our rampage here. So they have, for the moment, left Lothern undefended. Can you believe it? Can you believe the foolishness, the hubris of this action? And you're probably not going to be able to catch up this turn. Okay. That's fine. Just take it slow. Remain hidden. Above all else, you must remain hidden. All right, so we're just going to take them, right? I don't want to give them any time to respond. How quickly would they start starving? Oh, immediately. Literally instantly. And honestly, this isn't even that good of a... This is a better castle defense force than the one we just saw, because they at least have elite fighters that can stand on the walls and make it hard for people to get over. But this army has the other problem where if you just breach the gates, it's going to be very similar to a normal... Like, they just don't have the stuff to hold you back once you minotaur through the wall. Alright, Herdstone. We are going to get a lot of value out of this one. We found the Chalice of Chaos. Wow. That's a pretty good chalice. It's a shame it goes in a slot that... Oh, no, wait, sorry. It's one of these. Yeah, interesting. That actually is, I will replace your Iron Curse icon with that, I think. Enchanted item, not a talisman. When we first picked it up, I thought it was a talisman. That's why I was very unimpressed with it. Okay, see, this one totally is a special Herdstone. So not Itza, for some reason. Boy, I wish it was more obvious which ones were going to be special, because it's not even all of the ones on the big important list of settlements. With the ruined glittering tower now replaced by a massive foreboding Herdstone, Emerald Gate has suffered the ultimate defilement. Cooldown minus 10% to all spells faction-wide is pretty cool. Melee attack up when fighting high elves. Yeah, neat. Neat, I dig it. Give me vision over the blood ground and, of course, a little bit of impairment to our opponents. So, yeah, when we fill this one out, it's going to be pretty good. Do we... Yeah, I guess we get the Mind Razor now. It's fine. I definitely think Occam's Mind Razor is, like, the least exciting. I don't know if it's the worst of the spells we have access to, but it is, for sure, the least exciting. How is your stuff still so... We have been spending no time making sure that we are leveling up this this herd, and so all of its stuff is still so garbage. All right, we'll get you there, Gallic. Don't worry. We certainly do not need another army. I'm not even babysitting the ones I have very well. It's a shame we can't have Ock go back north and erect those Herdstones by himself. So once the buildings of the Herdstone are completed, we're going to get a lot more scouting information about what's going on the island. We'll be able to see basically the entire southwest corner, which will tell us a lot about where the High Elf armies are and where we can afford to strike. But to be perfectly honest with you, Morgur plus Taurox is such a powerful force that I really don't know how the High Elves would stand up against it in the first place. I know they were busy. They were dealing with their own problems over here, but they have allowed me to get a little too powerful, I think. In this case, do we want to actually make sure we upgrade these? The Plague is all Bloodground regions, but the... Yeah, I wish I knew whether the Plague chance changed from rank to rank. I mean, we can upgrade these and get even more dread, but, like, I already don't use all of my dread.
Trained by the White Tower.
So, wow, that is a whole army that is just the lowest tier units that the elves have access to. It was the lizardmen equivalent of an army of skinks. Okay, so we can see that the dark elves are doing quite well over here, and that the the high elves seem to... Do we know... I don't... At this point, I don't think we know for sure who has the sword. I'm assuming that this is a high elf army. There shouldn't be two of these indicators, by the way. But I'm assuming this is a high elf army that's just parked inside the Griffin Gate. Because the gates get pretty large garrisons when they're fully built up. So it's probably just like 40 units cowering on top of each other. If we declare on Kothic right now... They're not very large, are they? The opportunity to just eat this army and also to prevent them from getting in the way, because like they're clearly running over to take Angariel, which is part of my blood ground. I think we should just seize this. Declare war on you. Galleon can show up to be part of this. Can Torox reach Angariel this turn? Not quite. Okay, so we want him to do this so that we can maintain some momentum. Oh, they failed to spot our ambush. Even worse for them. The Minotaur's feast. What a surprise. Also, fighting elf armies is just good money. Elves have a lot of cash. The Chalice of Dark Rain. Reduced accuracy for affected combatants. So it's a debuff you can cast. Duration of 89 seconds with a 90-second cooldown. That's pretty cool. It's in the Talisman slot, that's a tough one. It's competing with a lot of very valuable things. And I guess we can also take Angariel. Why not? Let us go forth and seize our momentum. What is your talisman? You know what? I am going to give you the chalice. Oh, also, I should probably spend all the skill points. We're racking up. Magic? Probably magic. Yeah. Oh, I should give him the other point in Devolve, actually. Mastering Devolve is really valuable. And I actually still have movement. So we could Herdstone, Port Ellistor. Ooh, we could Herdstone the White Tower. I'm a little sad that it doesn't reach through to Trelinia though. It looks like Torrey of Rest would actually be the best and most efficient Herdstone on this side of the island because it gets everything all the way up to the edge of our other Herdstone. So maybe what we're going to do here is have Torox and Galak push up this side and just we'll wipe out this faction and set a Herdstone in their capital while Morgur tends to Lothern and pushes over here where he can. We have to be a little bit more careful on this side until that's done, but like I'm saying, I think the High Elves are pretty busy right now. I don't think they can really stop us. Am I supposed to be getting the shrine? I am. That can probably wait. I'm going to take down the tower. I am a little nervous about High Elf ambushes. That's a thing that they could decide to be smart enough to do. Who has Sundering attacks? It's probably one of you guys. And then this should just go on some unit that likes to stand in the middle of melee. So, yeah, Chaos Spawn gets one of them. Okay. These poor High Elves. I mean, just what a terrible time for internecine conflict, right? Like, who else is gold in here? Okay, some of the Chaos Spawn are starting to hit gold. We should probably go and grab Bestial Butchers. A little bit of missile resistance goes a long way on the Chaos Spawn, especially when fighting elves. So I think I'm going to wrap back around here because Taurus Sethai and Val's Anvil are his next targets. I think we're probably just going to leave that as it is. So, I can't exactly tell what Torox is saying, but it does sound a little bit like it ends with those sweeties, which I feel like is a little out of character for him. I think what I'm going to do is just press all the way up against the edge of the mountains here, and then next turn we'll Beast Path as far as we can go over to that way. Speaking of Beast Paths, and how far they can go, Criminy, you're good at this. Yeah, let's use Malagor to resettle the stuff to the north, because he's just so damn fast. And you're going for the coast. To stop and capture his own little metal narwhal. The Sword of Cain rests. The elves put it back. They put it back in its weird little shrine on the north side of the island. So the deal with the Sword of Cain is that as an army holds onto it, as a character holds onto it, it gets more and more powerful, but it also starts to create larger and larger faction-wide problems. It starts to sort of like corrupt your society by its very use. It's a really cool mechanic. It's a fun design. Sadly, I'm pretty sure we can't pull it from the shrine. I think it has to be taken from the shrine by an elf, either a high elf or a dark elf. But then once they have it, anybody can take it from them. Okay, what you're doing right now is just fine. Malagor is going to Hexawaddle. And Kazrak is going to the coast. Where can we get in the water? Up here. Okay. Ooh, we're going to be a little bit cautious here. You cannot adopt this... Oh, right. There are no beast paths on Ulthuan. I forgot about that. That is totally a thing that I knew. Okay. Well, then we will walk around the mountains the old-fashioned way. Yeah, that's embarrassing. That's my bad. That is information that I had access to. All right, we'll just set up here, and hopefully they will wander right into our brilliant trap. Fingers crossed. Falls Anvil is a 15-unit settlement behind some pretty serious walls. A close victory. You know what? I'll take it. Again, they don't really have much of a force here. I do like this Lothern Sea Guard unit. It is a proper spear infantry unit that also has a bow. And so you can do an initial archer fire stage, and then when they get close, switch into infantry mode. And obviously, that makes them a lot less vulnerable than a lot of infantry, or than a lot of archer-type units to, say, a cavalry charge, because they can just set the spears. You know, he is a force for change. What do we want next on you? I guess... So missile resistance for the Lord's army, or weapon strength. I mean, you know which one of those we're going to take. That's not even really a choice. So Torsathai is within our purview here. And it looks like they are bringing an army back down to maybe try to interfere. Let's see if I can have some words with them. Try to kill this lore master. Dude's a little low level still, so... Okay. He has successfully removed the lore master. That will certainly make taking that army down a little bit easier. Did I... Huh. I guess I overmoved. Well, then you may as well finish moving. I can't believe we have to put research points into being able to smell the enemy's fear. I guess the problem isn't that their fear is not strong enough. It's that the smells that we are emitting are so strong that it's a little overwhelming. And is there any reason to pop the Savage Rampage thing right now? Like, what do I really want? I guess. I gotta say, the system is cool in theory, but the Rampage rewards being so dinky kind of makes it doesn't feel like you're getting a lot of value out of it. I like filling up the bar, but I wish I was also mechanically rewarded for filling up the bar. I don't know what they would do that would not feel overpowering, because obviously we're pretty strong as it is. So I'm a little concerned that those dark elves look like they think they're going to come down here and resettle some of the stuff that we just burned. I really would prefer they not do that. And I certainly don't want to like rush complete the ritual just to make the areas unsettleable before I'm finished getting all my marks. Although, you know, it may be the case that we don't have to worry so much about the... oh, somebody else pulled the sword. It may be the case that we don't have to worry so much about getting the shrine done because the shrine's adjacent. The shrine's close to a lot of stuff. Actually, no, it looks like it probably would not be reached by... Does Galleon Vale get it? I can't see Galleon Vale normally, so I can't tell. Yeah, all of the settlements on the north side don't include the shrine in their blood ground. So, oh no, actually they just took the settlement that I was planning to take. Well,
I have control.
that's inconvenient. This is also another extremely low tier army. The witch elves are at least like a little bit impressive. Yeah, I don't know how I want to handle that. Alright, Galek and Torox are going to press forward with reckless abandon, because that's the only kind of abandon we stock. Hold on, you. Just give me a second here. Okay, there we go. It is kind of a pain in the ass to coordinate two armies moving together. Oh, I was supposed to just push past Elisali. Well, I mean, we had to fight that army. But I did just rob myself of a little bit of ruination. I got the bloodlust, you know. It was role playing is what it was. So this presents an interesting problem. Do we want to just fall back, or do we want to potentially start fighting the Dark Elves now? Torsathai, like, we would probably win that battle. I think I'm going to run back and try to grab the Shrine of Asurion now, I guess. Let's keep the Dark Elves on side for the moment. Can Malagor touch Hexawaddle in normal movement? It looks like. Apparently we must erect a Herdstone. I am not allowed to do that. Why? Require the Herdstone shard resource, some favor, and some bodies. See, this is showing as red, but cannot be constructed in existing blood grounds. Oh, it's because we have a Herdstone somewhere else. Well, then that's potentially a problem. Can I undo this one? I can. Okay, that's fine, right? There's no reason not to. Y'all just chill out stealthily for a minute. We gotta get those check marks. Alright, Khazrak is coming to join the battle for Elftown. I might pull Dob back a little. I mean, it is valuable to keep an eye. You know what? Just stay where you are, because you're too exhausted to do anything, but you're providing good intelligence. You know, that's what you think of, generally, when you look at a Minotaur. It's like, oh, look at all that intelligence. Maybe we should buy another army capacity. I mean, it would be a bad army, for sure. But maybe there's value in just having more places that we can attack from simultaneously. I'm thinking ahead a little bit to what it's going to be like to attack the Dark Elves, and wondering if maybe we put up another army right now and start to train them up a little bit against the High Elves so that they're in a more ready state. I don't know. There's not that much room to maneuver on Ulthuan in the first place, though. I'm not going to stress about it. All right, make for the shrine. It'll take a turn or two, but you'll get there. Same deal over here. We should probably approach a little bit stealthily, because I do not know what is up ahead, but we should be able to reach Torivres from here. God, I love moving around in places where, like, there aren't trees absolutely everywhere, and there's actually, like, functional roads. I hate that jungle so much. I'm so glad to be gone. Alright, Khazrak. Khazrak can actually stay in shallow water pretty much the entire way over, which is nice. You may as well just harass. Still got a lot of relevant skill points on this one. Okay. So now we should be able to do this, right? So what is this one? Morslib's Eclipse. The city of the sun drowns in the shadow of the Chaos Moon's Herdstone-fueled influence, indulging the depravity of the Beastmen. So Winds of Magic up, faction-wide. Okay, it looks like they're pretty similar to one another. It's just each one of them has a unique faction-wide thing that it does. And House Malagor's... Okay, he'll replenish his army pretty quickly. Okay, so the other one is all the way up here. We're going to have to knock down the stone in Hag Hall. It shouldn't be a problem. And that's a big distance, but it's honestly probably only a few turns of jumping from Malagor, because he is real fast. So Eataine has, okay, I was going to say, a great big radiant army here that looks like it might run right through us. And sure enough, the enemy has failed to spot your ambush. Let's take the reach. Let's take the replenishment. I don't think we need it, but we sure did deal with her. Okay, so Winds of Magic up for the Lord's army. Obviously, public order and growth, not terribly meaningful. A lot of other factions would be overjoyed to have found an opportunity to slay the Everqueen. I mean, not slay. Obviously, she'll be back. That's what makes her the Everqueen. Unfortunately, Tor Ivres knows we're coming now, but also I don't think it matters. My feeling is it's not going to matter very much. They did interrupt Galek's replenishment, which is a little annoying. So we finished off Viletide. I guess we should wrap up the Bray Scream. And you should just get all of the other yellow points. Probably at this point, health. He has enough melee defense and enough armor that health is the greatest gain to survivability. And apparently we are just barely beating the Dark Elves here. I would be so frustrated as a player if I was the High Elves in this situation. If I do this... Okay. Sadly, it does not enable replenishment. Is this gonna... You know, this may push us up to Cataclysm. And obviously, that's a pretty easy battle there. Finally, I am a siege expert, which is to say I have run into so many walls. At some point, you get good at doing a thing just by doing it, you know? You don't have to study. Alright, so let's build these. Basically, a pretty huge percentage of the island now is that... No, do not do that. I'm trying to select my army. Okay. Now we are properly replenishing. Do you have anything left? No, you are out of settlements. So that army is everything, and it's surrounded by Torox and Crone Hellebron.
Behold.
See, this army is real. The Blackguard of Naggarond are terrifying. They got some kind of mid-level missile units, and then low-level missile units, and then some like guys on horses or whatever. I will say this: they have chariots pulled by dinosaurs. That's pretty wicked. It's hard to trash talk the dinosaur chariots too much. What do you still need? Apparently that. Do I want to... It feels to me like we don't need another Minotaur here. I am going to have Ak just sail north toward Dark Elf lands. Yes, we should definitely do that. That is certainly worth doing. Is there anything else that he should have? He's already going to have the ability to make a Jabberslythe. I guess there's no reason not to build the other stuff. We do have a limited amount of favor, but we're earning it so quickly. Yeah, just go ahead and let's build the other stuff. You will have every building. There are just enough slots, actually, to have every single building. Alright, so I assume that Relinda is going to charge Torox, get caught up in an ambush by Galek, and then obviously, like, extremely crushed. Maybe the most crushed anyone has ever been. Morgur is going to come over here and flatten this out.
The Asso will rise again.
And is this time to hit the ritual button? We're probably not going to take Torse the Thigh anytime soon, so yeah, I guess let's just commit. Apparently, I could be waiting for the different phases of the moon, but honestly, I kind of don't care. Like, this is not going to be the bottleneck as far as winning goes. This is going to be a little bit more of a concern. And of course, Altdorf. Narn the Man Ripper still has skill points, and he has picked up almost everything of value. Wait, did we already move? Oh no, Malagor's just not asking for orders because he's inside the settlement. Yeah, wow. Look at the distance. It's pretty incredible. All right, so yeah, the Witchwood is, I don't know, like 2 more jumps, I'm guessing. And overall, a lot of this stuff's going really well. Oh, Kothic just got Et, because unfortunately for them, the Dark Elves get their turn earlier in the turn order. I wonder how much longer we're going to be able to push on before we have to declare war on the Dark Elves. I think we're probably going to end up just actually wiping the Dark Elves out, and it is going to start here on Ulthuan. And in fact, what we may end up doing is, once Malagor makes it back to the Witchwood, we may buy the army capacity upgrade and then have Malagor tug around a sort of a weak secondary army to start cleaning up Dark Elf stuff in this area, while the other herds work on Ulthuan. No, I do not. I'm trying to click on my damn army here. All the Z fighting. Always with the Z fighting. All right. Many things are getting built. We gotta earn ourselves some favor, but I'm sure it won't be a big deal. And I'm starting to wonder, like, when is it Dark Elf time? Is it now? It might be real soon at the very least. So they own the entire outside of Ulthuan, aside from Trilinia, which we obviously will destroy probably this turn. Got pirates just like looking for an opportunity, waiting for anyone at all to step off of land. And then we could have Morgur just push up this way. The moment we declare war on the Dark Elves, though, this becomes an active front. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I think the best way to approach this is. I think for the moment what we're going to do is just call it here for today. And thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, there will be many, many elves going underneath our hooves. And to be honest with you, I kind of don't care what flag they run under. And we'll see you then.